In the name of Amen the Supreme, the All-Powerful, the one and only true Lord, in Amen we trust, as the Republic of Mentellect. The true 144,000 is being gathered in this day and time, the Mentellians. Menzeka Aminun to all my Mentellian brothers and sisters out there, registered members of the Republic of Mentellect, and to all future Mentellians who have yet to make their way home to Amen's covenant, which is the Republic of Mentellect. I send greetings out to you, and I send peace out to you in our Mentellian language by saying to you, Menzeka Aminun. Good evening, I'm your host, the intellectual Nuben Menkares, and this is Mentellect Radio, and tonight we're going to be discussing why was the beast on the lookout for a black messiah. I said this before, and I'll say it again, they've always been on the lookout, because the sign of a black messiah, so-called black messiah, a bronze messiah, right, represents the end of their kingdom. When a son of man comes directly from Amen, being in tune with Amen, being in connection mentally with Amen to receive power on earth, transmission on earth, that man would raise the elect, and that would start a transmission going. And they knew this would happen. They knew this would happen. J. Edgar Hoover, a.k.a. Gay Edgar Hoover, he used to say, we got to be on the lookout. We got to be on the watch out for the rise of a black messiah. He said this in the 60s. Now, this wasn't Malcolm X nor Martin Luther King that he was referring to. He was speaking of in future tense, a black messiah, right? Because he didn't have long to go. He was on his way out as well. But they talked about keeping their eye on the rise of a black messiah, one who would come and electrify the masses. Electrify, use the word electrify purposely, as in to raise the minds of the masses, to extend them, continue them on a higher level. This would signal the end of the counterfeit kingdom of the beast, because all of his kingdoms that were set up here on earth, from America to Europe, Asia, India, all of these are counterfeit kingdoms. Why are they counterfeit kingdoms? Because they are copies. I'm not going to say carbon copies. They are pale copies of what we had in place first. Right? All of the humans that came and set up governments, societies, systems are coming after the societies and systems and governments we had set up earlier. See, they don't never want you to know the so-called white man and all the rest of these, Caucasians who, these East Indians. I'm going to call them Caucasians too. We're going to stop with this people of color and trying to lump ourselves in with the so-called East Indians and the Africans and the Arabs, because they're not our people, right? The white man considers them Caucasian, considers them white. They got white status, and it has nothing to do with skin color, right? He considers them white. See, we had our first societies, our first government set up there for thousands and thousands of years, right? They were pyramid governments, and they bore witness to the symbol of the serpent or the serpentine, right? The snake, which is what the white man does today. Like I said, when he wears the long necktie, right? Blue suit, white shirt, red necktie, right? Gold watch or gold pin. Those are all colors, and that necktie, that red necktie, represents the serpent, right? And the serpent, the tie or the knot, is next to his jugular vein. Is next to his jugular vein, his voice box where he speaks from. Again, denoting communication with authority, because that's what the serpent represented. When the ancient pharaohs, our ancient pharaohs, wore them on their crowns, the serpents, wore the red, blue, and gold first. They were the beginning of the first governmental setups here on earth, and they fell out of power through mixing of the seed, through allowing foreigners to come in, and allowing all kinds of degeneracy to rule. The Israelites, people always talk about this kingdom being wicked and degenerate, but the ancient societies like Egypt and all those other places, they were not wicked and degenerate until wicked and degenerate foreigners came in, right, and mixed their seed in. And this became, over time, the fall of those ancient societies. I'm not just talking about Egypt, I'm talking about all over the world, right? When we had our kingdom set up, they went under because we allowed these cave people, right? We allowed these cave people, these humans, to come into our societies, into our governments, and live, mix their seed, learn our system of governing and ruling, and they took it, and they eventually overthrew us and overtook us with it. And we broke the first law of Amen, which was not to mix our seed and not to invite foreigners into our home. That was one of the first laws of Amen, not to invite foreigners into your home. This is why the pharaohs used to not allow the women in ancient Kemet to marry men of other nations, but those pharaohs would take women of other nations. It's a little bit of a double standard, but there was a reason behind all of that. So they didn't want, at one point, they didn't want foreigners in their lands, right? But then you always gonna have some Uncle Tom, right? You had ancient Uncle Toms back then that loved the white man, loved all the other nations and whatnot, and they let them into their societies. And when you let other people into your societies, right, they start to chip away at the moral fabric and the moral fiber. And that's what began to happen with our ancient kingdoms. And you start marrying these people, and you start taking on their ways. And you start forgetting the laws that you were governed by. You start forgetting it. You start forgetting the laws that you were governed by, the moral code that you went by, and you lose everything. And that's what happened with our people over time. We let these people in. We embraced these people. We allowed our women to lay with them, right? Because they didn't bring their women over. The men came over, and the women of our nations would lay with them, mix their seed. And what would happen? Those children would grow up, and next thing you know, they ruling the society, right? And they bringing in more foreigners to cause confusion. And that was the fall of our empires. This is why when the white man set up America, he understood that the allowing other nations to come in, other people or other races to come in, and allowing them to have equality and power, he knew that his kingdom wouldn't be able to stand for very long, because he knew what happened to our ancient kingdom when you start letting in different races of people and you start giving them a voice in what you're doing. He already knew. That's why America was founded for, of, and by white men. It was founded for, of, and by white men, right? And they already had made Harry said once they took that land, they wasn't giving the Indians nothing. This was going to be a land for Caucasian men. You understand that? This was going to be their setup, right? And they had every right to do that. If they fought, if they killed, if they maimed, if they did all these things in order to take power and precedent over this land, then they got every right to it. You just become a squirrel living in their world. Amen allowed them to do that. Just as Amen will allow the next thing to happen, right? Because our people were here in America first as the Olmecs. And because obviously we didn't have the mindset, our people didn't have the mindset or didn't want to break custom and tradition to move forward, right? And to be the open vessels of Amen's reception to bring all these new things into being that they let the so-called Asians come in here and mix their seed. Because, see, that's the first way you destroy a society and destroy a race of people. You allow race mixing. That's how you bring down a nation. That's what happened in Egypt. The Greeks came over there and was mixing their seed. They was living in Egypt, going to school in Alexandria, going over there, and then eventually got a foothold. That happened in Africa. The white man would come in and mix his seed with the black women, and you had these Uncle Tom, Coon, Sambos, African chiefs or whatever they was. They would allow the white man to come in and sleep with their daughters, right? Have babies with them. That's going on in Africa today. That's why the Chinese are over there sleeping with African women, right? You're going to see a whole lot of mulattoes over there. The white man is over there, too, in Africa. And that's why I said Oprah Winfrey was grooming a lot of those black girls over in them schools so that they could be concubines and bed witches for white men. That's why she didn't want to educate black boys in Africa. She wanted to educate black girls to groom them to be concubines and bed witches for white European men and American ones. See, that's what it really was. Okay? She's on board with the plan too. You always got some of our people who are on board to see us stay under bondage to the beast, stay in hell under the beast. A lot of our people are on board with that. A lot of our people are on board with that. But see, Amen chose the elect. Amen chose the bronze man, the soul man, and that soul race, or that solar race of beings to ultimately be in power. That's how it was supposed to be. See, because the beast rule was supposed to be temporary till we got our minds right. And a lot of our people, unfortunately, are never going to get their minds right. A lot of our people are never going to get their minds right. They're never going to be part of this elect. See, because again, the elect represented the same prophecy that J. Edgar Hoover had about this black Messiah coming to electrify the masses. That all goes hand in hand with the book of Revelation, because they know once that happens, their kingdom is finished. And they know their kingdom is on the out. That's why the white man is on his way to Mars. He knows his kingdom is over with. He knows his time is coming. He knows. That's why he in a frenzy mixing his seed with the black woman. He trying to leave his mulatto seeds here. Same way they did in ancient Egypt. Cleopatra and all of them, and the Ptolemies and all these other people, they mixed their seed, right? That's how they was able to get a foothold. The Greeks were able to get a foothold in on Egypt. All the dynasties have fell out. You had a bunch of Uncle Tom leaders. They knew how to get a foothold in. So now, fast forward to this society, because again I said we in a solar system, right? And within a solar system, the only ones who are supposed to be functioning as rulers and leaders of the governmental systems on this planet is solar men. Solar men and solar women. They're supposed to be functioning as the law, the order, and the government set up here as it was in the beginning. So shall it be in the end. Because that is the natural order of things. When you look at the time in which our people were in power, right, ruling all over the world, all over the planet, right? Because like I said, we had pyramids set up. They find pyramids and serpent up in China, Japan, and that's not the Chinese and the Japanese. That was our people there. In China, Japan, Europe, our people were everywhere. America, South America, North America, everywhere, all over the place. Found pyramids in Antarctica. Things that they're never going to show you because there were societies here first. I said our people do things first, and the beast follows you. When it comes to setting up, because we were following Amen. We were following Amen, and the beast started to follow Amen because we were following Amen. At first, they followed us, and then they tried to go directly to Amen and make a connection directly with Amen. So they would sit with the priest of Amen, right? They would sit with the priest of Amen. They would learn how to contact Amen, the Greeks and whatnot. They would sit amongst the ancient Kemites because they wanted that power. They wanted that connection because they understood that only a connection with Amen and that fourth dimension, only a connection with Amen would stand their kingdoms and their empires up to last for a long period of time. They understood that. And our people fell out of contact with that. You understand? Our people fell out of contact. So again, the beast and his rule was only meant to be temporary. All this was meant to be temporary, and they already know that. They already know where we was here first. They already know that there were government set up, and I'm not talking about the so-called Indians. The so-called Indians that you Negroes keep trying to put straight here on black people and call them Indians. No, I'm talking about the Olmecs, because it's funny how even still you Negroes are Uncle Toms, but you won't say that the Olmecs was the first people here. You'll talk about some Asian mixed so-called Indians. You won't talk about the Olmecs. We are the descendants of them. And they had the pyramids and the serpent here too. And that society is going to come back again in a future state. That society, or the futuristic version of that society, is going to come back, and the descendants of those people who are here in America, who are in South America and Mexico on this side, are going to come back. All right? They're going to come back as one bloodline, and they're not Africans. And they knew, again, that this was inevitable, especially now. They knew that this was inevitable. As you know, it was 1969, 1967. I believe it was somewhere around the time when J. Edgar Hoover said what he said, right? But that was done purposely. It was done purposely to put the Illuminati, to put the Caucasian elites, to put them on notice that a black messiah is coming. And they say black messiah. Why? Because, of course, they refer to us as black people, people in darkness, people who don't know who they really are. That's why they refer to you as black people, because you are people in darkness, people who have no light, no intelligence, people who don't know who they are. You understand? People who allow the beast to define you, and once at one point in time, you used the beast was a servant to us. The beast and all the humans were servants to us. Then we became turned around and started serving them for breaking Amun's law, the punishment. And a lot of our people still want to be under the beast. A lot of our people still want to be under the beast, but that was not to be continuous. That was meant to be temporary. And they already knew it was coming to an end eventually. And we in that time right now. It would have to be a knowledge that came directly from Amun, a transmission that came directly from Amun that would raise the elect. It would not come through no black power, no Pan-Africanism, no Islam, no Christianity, no religion, no philosophy. It would be a direct connection, a direct current, a direct mental charge, a reboot from Amun. A high-frequency transmission directly from Amun with extensive knowledge about the future. And in that future transmission would be transformation through the transmission. Transformation, meaning those who heard this transmission would be transformed out of a stage of darkness and into a stage of greater light, brightness, pure brightness. In other words, their souls will be ignited again. That's why J. Edgar Hoover said, be mindful of the black messiah who will electrify. Electric. What is electric? The charge, the power, the chosen, who would electrify the masses. They knew. They stayed watching the stars. That's what they set NASA up for. Because our people used to do the same thing. They really set up NASA and all these things to chart the stars. They didn't really set up NASA to go into space. That was the secondary plan. But the first plan of NASA was to chart the stars. To chart the stars, because they knew by charting the stars that Amun would, based on how the star and star patterns were, it would tell you whether the Amun being was sending transmission here. They knew. They could tell a certain star pattern whether the Amun beings would start sending transmission here, whether they would start connecting to certain people here. That's why they were able to talk about the Comet Bennett, right? The Comet Bennett, and Dr. York used to speak about the Comet Bennett as well, how it made its way through here at about 1969 and streaked through here from 69 into the atmosphere up into 71. That was a very important time and a very important comet, because it ripped the sky, as they say, or ripped space, right? When I say it ripped space, it opened up a portal into the fourth dimension. And once that happened, transmission started to stream through. And when that transmission streamed through from about 68 to 71, children were born in that era. One child, especially within that time, was born in that era, who would receive the light, who would be different, who would come to serve and raise the elect. One child who would grow up to become the messenger of Amun. One child, one transmission, one message, one solar reception. And we are in that time now. We are in that time now. The prophecy is being fulfilled. Because the prophecy or the prophet or the Son of Man who would come again, or the Messiah, The so-called black Messiah would be the foundation of the first pharaoh, or what they would be a futuristic style pharaoh who would come and build a new kingdom. Same way they put the president, right, in the ancient world as the pharaoh, they put him up in rulership. So Amen wants that set up again. Amen wants to set up, but futuristically, of the solar beings, or the Amen being, to be in rulership. Why? Because the so-called humans, the beasts, they're not able to receive future transmission. Same way their genetic material is stopping is the same way their mental extension is stopping. They were only meant to hold a certain charge, a certain mental current to a certain point. Amen needs to channel in fourth dimensional frequency and fifth dimensional and higher. So Amen needs solar beings in power. And what is the beast going to do? He's going to try to sneak his children in. I said through the mixture of his seed with the so-called black woman, but that's not going to work. That's going to be temporary. He's going to try and sneak his seed in. Amen's going to want the full-on bronze man, born of a black mother and a black father, to produce a bronze or a bright child. Amen's going to require that one, right, who's going to come from amongst the black race. And they already know that. Why you think the so-called white man, they chose Barack Obama to be the first president of the United States of America, the first so-called black president? He's not even a so-called black man. He's a mulatto. That was done purposely. Notice they didn't choose any so-called black person here in America because they didn't want to take a chance on that prophecy being fulfilled of the leader of the world, somebody being symbolic of leadership coming from amongst slaves. They didn't want that. But see, the so-called white man is not going to put the Son of Man in power. Amen is going to put the Son of Man in power. See that? He ain't going to come through politics. Amen is going to put the Son of Man in power. Amen is going to put the elect in power. And that power will come when the elect are being raised, when they are separating from everybody else, when they are fighting hard to get into that fourth dimensional state and getting rid of the weak, as I said, when they are moving forward and they're getting rid of the weak ones. As this transmission is being raised, as this tone and frequency is being raised, Amen will raise the elect in his image and after his likeness. They will become future ones. That's why if you notice in the Republic of Mentellect, we put up all future symbols. We put up futuristic colors. We didn't put up the red, black, and green. We didn't call ourselves black and African and Negro and all this other nonsense. We came with the bright race. We came with the solar flag, the planetary flag. We came with the serpent symbol, regenerated, of course. We came with bright colors, red, blue, and yellow. We didn't come with no red, black, and green. We didn't come with no tribal nonsense. We came with celestial colors, the celestial colors of our ancestors and the celestial colors of our ascendants. Royal colors as a sign and a symbol of what is to come, what has been prophesied to come, and what must take place. The Son of Man is a bronze man, not a black man. Is a bronze man of bright descent. Or should I say a bright man of bronze descent. Brighter bronze man, who they falsely call black. Because he knew, the beast knew that he would be born of black parents, those in darkness. Those who were absent of light. Absent of intelligence, who didn't know who and what we were until this time. We've come into this time. We are of this time. And Amen requires that the elect focus solely on Amen and not focus on anything within this time frame, within this three-dimensional form. This is why, again, the beast tries to make sure he causes chaos and confusion in the so-called black communities, putting drugs in there and putting gang members in there, installing niggas in there to start up gangs, anything to promote law, chaos, and confusion, to work against the law and order of Amen, to get us working against ourselves. He puts these things in your neighborhood purposely. He puts the gangbangers in there. He puts the drugs in there, the guns. You understand? Because once law and order is reestablished, then that's a sign that the Son of Man, the so-called Black Messiah, as they say, is coming. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad was the first incarnation of the Son of Man. He was the first incarnation. But what did he have to do? He had to shield himself. How did the Honorable Elijah Muhammad shield himself into the coming of the Messiah? He gave that title to the so-called white man called Fard Muhammad. He cast all image and shadow to that so-called Caucasian Fard Muhammad, the Caucasian one. When in fact Elijah was the first one in line to be the Messiah of Amen, the Son of Man, the first Son of Man. Everything in this society comes in trilogies, right? Elijah Muhammad, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was part 1, right? Dr. Malachi Z. York was part 2. All startups, all forerunners to Mentellect. Me, part 3. All startups to be measured, because in this time of illumination, pure illumination, right? That brighter illumination of solar transmission and connection directly from Amen's solar projection, there's only the extension of the elect. There's only the extension of the elect. Nothing else. Nothing else. And right now the beast is fighting that frequency. He is fighting that transmission. He is fighting that manifestation of pure brightness, extended intelligence here on earth that is coming from the elect, that is being extended by way of Amen to the elect. Stop the rise of a black Messiah, because again that will signal the downfall of their kingdoms. See, it was okay when the so-called white man was producing simple-minded Negroes. See, he was okay as long as he was producing a bunch of simple-minded Negroes. He'll pay you $1 million to be a simple-minded Negro and lead your people into simple-mindedness. But once you had somebody who was not motivated by money, who was not motivated by fame, was not motivated by material things, who was only driven by Amen and the raising of Amen's kingdom, Amen's government, Amen's society on earth, that became a problem. And they knew that somebody would come who would be like that. They knew. And it would be a long line of those who would come who would be like that. But this is the beginning. This is the beginning. Here lies the grace, the peace. Right? Here is the promise. Because we were promised a kingdom on earth. Amen's people, Amen's seed, those who are of Amen, the serpent seed, were promised a kingdom on earth. And Amen will deliver it to those, but we must be willing to sacrifice the weak. We must be always willing to sacrifice the weak. Even if you feel you're weak, you must sacrifice yourself. Amen must, in order for us to receive Amen's power on earth, you must sacrifice the weak. Even the weak who walk amongst us must be sacrificed. Sacrifice is important. Right? Sacrifice is important. The burnt offering. I kept talking so much about the burnt offering. I told you the burnt offering is the black race. They are who we offer up to Amen in order to receive the power of Amen on earth. They are who we offer up in our three-dimensional double-mindedness is what we offer up. See, the beast knew once he had those type of people, those serious-minded people, that was the end of his kingdom. See, he knew this. That's why he made a movie like Planet of the Apes. See, he made a movie like Planet of the Apes. I'm talking about the 1971 version, right? Which they're going to come out with Planet of the Apes, with Cornelius, and it's going to be, basically, they showed you the destruction of the so-called white man, the human race. They showed you the destruction of the human race. But they said they was going to be replaced by apes. What is the white man calling us now? What has he got that damn Chinaman, that Asian man, calling us bathing apes? clothing line, the Bathing Apes. They got young boys wearing apes on their damn shirts. Apes. Ape fight ape. Those are all symbols of calling so-called black men apes. Dumb apes. Right? Monkeys. And then he makes a movie, Planet of the Apes, where the apes inherit the earth. What is he really saying? The apes are representing the our men and the our women. That's what they really saying. He already know. He don't make movies for no reason. He make movies as a message. The movies are meant to be a message. You understand? If you don't realize this time that his movies and his music are not for entertainment, it's for messages, for the purpose of sending messages, programming people, getting people ready for what's to come, then I don't know what to tell you. If you still being entertained by this foolishness, he's telling you these things for a reason. With the introduction, with the appearance of the so-called Black Messiah, there's a countdown to the beast and his kingdoms all over the planet. That's the countdown. Do you know that is the countdown? They know it because they worst nightmare is to get somebody who is in direct connection with Amen, who is in direct connection with the Lord, not these Negroes who believe in God, not these Negroes of the Bible or the Quran. No. Those who are, or that one who is in direct connection beyond a book, beyond a religion, those who are in direct connection with the creators of this planet. And that would naturally be a connection that would be formed with the elect. That is a connection that would be naturally formed with the elect. And the beast didn't want that. That's why he always makes sure he'll fund these niggas with these churches. With these counterfeit churches, these niggas that come up in here, these pork eating, chicken fried niggas that come up in here pushing white Jesus Christ on you, right? Or Allah, or Jehovah, or Yahweh Shai, or these false gods. Anything to keep you away from Amen, anything to keep you away from the direct current, anything to keep you away from the Lord, the Most High. You understand that? But they knew eventually we'd even get through that. That wouldn't work. They knew we'd cut through those channels. Because a lot of these niggas that are here, they're here to serve the beast. They ain't here to serve Amen. They here to serve the beast. And they here to stop the Republic of Mentellect, them niggas that left out of here. They here to try. They want the transmission of Amen to stop. You understand? They want everybody to go back under the beast and be quiet. That's what they really want. Because what does the beast tell you? Do as thou wilt. In his society, he'll tell you could do whatever you want to do. Do as thou wilt. Like that guy, Aleister Crowley. Do as thou wilt. But see, when Amen sends that transmission to the elect, ain't no more do as thou wilt. Ain't no do as thou wilt. It's do what Amen says or that's it. Do as Amen says or that's it. Raise the Lord or that's it. The law and the order. The supreme law and the supreme order. And that's what we're coming into. That's why all these churches are going to fall. It spoke about that in the Revelation. Why? Because these churches, these synagogues, these temples, these synagogues of Satan, these temples, these churches, like I said, they all set up by the beast, man, to cause confusion and to distract you so that you don't receive that transmission. The elect don't receive that transmission directly from the Lord. Amen. That's what that's set up for. That's what it's set up for. So that we don't receive our power on earth. So that prophecy that Gay Edgar Hoover had of the rise of a black Messiah that would electrify the masses wouldn't come true. Because he couldn't have been worried about, this so-called black Messiah going to rise up and get guns and fight the government. No, they ain't worried about that. They ain't worried about that. The so-called white man, he got all the firepower in the world. He ain't worried about that. No, he ain't worried about that. Getting the guns. He ain't worried about tearing up your neighborhoods. He ain't worried about that, right? He ain't worried about you coming into his neighborhood. He ain't worried about that. They know you Negroes ain't going to do that. That's not what he was worried about. He ain't worried about you going and voting or setting up businesses. No, that was never the threat. That was never the threat. The threat was direct connection to the creators of this planet. to the Amen being, which he done convinced a lot of these simple-minded Negroes that he done convinced a lot of them that the creators of this planet don't exist. He done already convinced a lot of these simple-minded Negroes. He already cut off their souls. He already distinguished the light in them that was connected to the Creator. He already cut that off in them. Now these Negroes just follow the white man, follow the beast. Start talking about, oh, I believe in science. He already dealt with them Negroes. He already cut them off. He already got them. No, what he was worried about was that we would make connection to the creators of this planet again. Right? And he wanted to make sure that nobody came through to connect you. That's why if you ever notice anybody that was so-called black who formed any kind of organization that was trying to connect directly to the Most High, that wasn't talking about Jesus, that wasn't talking about Allah, Jehovah, whatever, they called you a cult. And they tried to demonize you. They called you a cult for a reason, so you would, other people, so-called black people, will be turned off. They called the Nation of Islam a cult. Why? Because they didn't believe in no Allah from the Islamic world. The Allah they was talking about was really Amen. Even though the Nation of Islam, the members didn't understand that. Dr. York and them wasn't talking about that Allah in no damn middle of no desert nowhere. He was exposing that. That's why they had to get rid of him. So when you start taking away layers and layers of the deception, that's a sign that this so-called black Messiah that they were talking about is coming forward. And the Most High, the Lord, will seal his name in the foreheads of the elect. Those who would be marked by the name of the Lord, like I said in Revelation, those who will be marked by the name of the beast in their forehead. Those three-dimensional ones, and those who are going to be raised to the fourth dimension. And that raising is by way of mentellect. That is the knowledge, that is the light that is going to raise the elect or the electrified ones, the chosen, to be put in charge. Because their societies, their governments have to be raised again. Because there can be no life on this planet without law and order. There can be no life here without law and order. Chaos and confusion must be kept at bay. And your so-called black race, they don't understand that. That's why they ain't going to never see power again. They're never going to see power again. Those who are raised out from amongst the so-called black race, the ones who will be the magnified versions of Amen here on earth, the electrified versions of Amen in physical form here on earth, they have risen above the so-called black race. Mentally, they're being risen right now. They're being gathered right now. And they're going to be gathered in all four corners of the planet, north, south, east, and west. And they will be called Mentellian. And they will be gathered out, and they will come into the center of the earth. And they will receive Amen's transmission, and they will set up new kingdoms, new societies, new governments in the name of Amen. They will raise Amen's name. They will raise Amen's name. They will raise Amen's government on earth, and all of these counterfeit governments, all these counterfeit kingdoms, and the beasts are going to come down. They knew that was coming because this earth belongs to us. The earth belongs to us. The earth belongs to us, the chosen, the elect. And those who don't think that's real, we told you don't walk amongst us. This ain't a black thing. This is a bright thing. This ain't a black thing. This is a bright thing. We can't help the three-dimensional Negroes. We want you to stay away from us. You belong with the beast. You belong under him. You will perish with him. You are his niggas. You will not walk in these new days, in these next days with Amen. It has already been prophesied. You've already made your choice. But those of you who know you are of the elect, who this resonates with, you're going to make your way here ASAP. ASAP. The elect are being risen. And it's a slow rise. It's going to be a slow rise. Because until we understand, until we ultra stand What made us fall out of power until we make sure we got the weak ones out, till we get the bugs out of this thing, till we make sure we got the strong minds here and those numbers are raising. That's when Amen will give us our power on earth. When we are really willing to take responsibility for this planet. You understand? See, because a lot of you niggas say y'all want power. A lot of you niggas say you want to be put in control. A lot of you niggas say y'all want to be leaders and you want to be chosen. But let the white man go off the scene. You niggas ain't going to do nothing, man. You ain't going to do nothing. You're not going to be responsible for nothing. It'll be chaos and confusion. Amen is not going to put power in the hands of those kind of people. Amen is not going to put power in the hands of emotional people. Amen is going to put power in the hands of those who are mentally stable, those who are focused, those who want the power. He ain't putting the power in the hands of a bunch of silly Negroes, a bunch of silly cartoon Negroes. You understand? Because we already know the so-called black race, you don't want to be responsible for nothing. You don't want to be responsible. You don't want the power. You ain't willing to raise your children to be responsible for nothing. This is not a game. This is not a game. See, because once the elect are being raised, and the beast is on his way out, that seat of power has to be filled. There's going to be a vacuum there. That seat of power has to be filled quickly. Because a lot of you people say, oh yeah, we want power. Yeah, we want the power. Amen. You understand? But with power comes responsibility. See, you don't want the responsibility. You don't want to make sure the planet is policed, that there's still medical services here, that there's still all the things that we need to live as a society, as a government. Y'all don't want to make sure of that, see, because a lot of you niggas will look to the white man. But wait a minute, he ain't going to be here no more. He ain't going to be here no more. He ain't going to be in charge no more. You ain't going to have him to look to. It's going to be just like that setup in Planet of the Apes, where all the apes was in rulership and the damn white man was running around. He went right back to how he was, running around with damn sackcloth on, like how Charlton Heston was looking in the Planet of the Apes in 1971, like a goddamn caveman. Hair all over his face and a damn sackcloth on, like a caveman. You understand that? That's just how it's going to go back to looking. And if y'all ain't prepared, oh well. Amen going to destroy you just like he's going to destroy them. You niggas are going to be collateral damage, man. I'm going to just say it like that. Raw and uncut. Raw and uncut. Ain't none of that Ashe Hotep black power shit going to help you. None of that's going to help you. Amen going to want to know, can we hold power on earth? Can we fill in where all the humans left off at? Can we govern the humans? Can we put things forward as they supposed to be? See, that's what's coming. And like I said, Hoover and all them knew it. They knew it was only a matter of time. See, that message went out to the future Caucasians. That message was about to be watchful of the black Messiah. That was for the future Caucasians. They wasn't talking about daytime, because they was on their way out. You understand? They was sending out that message to their children and their children's children. Time is getting short. You understand? That's what that was for. That's what that was for. This is not a game, man. Because a lot of people still think I'm playing. A lot of people think this is a goddamn radio show and you entertained and you like how I turn up and whatnot. I told you, this is not a game. Game over. Game over. This is real. Our job is to simply gather the elect. That's it. That's all. Gather the serious minds, the serious bodies, and the serious souls. All you silly niggas gonna be left to the wayside, man. All you Ashe Hotep, black power, blunt smoking niggas that's sitting on the sidelines being a bunch of sorry ass niggas, you gonna be left on the sidelines, man. Amen gonna destroy you. He gonna use the beast to destroy you niggas, man. And we gonna say Hail Amen when the beast destroy you niggas, man. Because you ain't standing up for Amen. You decide to serve the beast. So because you decide to serve the beast, then you going to die by the beast's hands, man. Raw and uncut. We ain't got no love for you. No love. Not for you niggas or for the goddamn beast, man. For the pale man. No love for you or them. No love. only a message. Messiah. He's in your midst. He coming like a thief in the night. He not going to come talking nice to you. He not going to have no fear. And it don't matter if he not here, because it's all about what he done started. It's all about what he done started. Don't matter if you think he crazy. It doesn't matter. We in crazy times. We in crazy days. It don't matter whether you think, oh, this is not right, this is crazy. You listen to a bunch of crazy ass noise that you calling music now. You don't think we in crazy times? You turn around, they made being a faggot and a lesbian normal. You don't think we in crazy times? You damn right we in psycho times. The game is over. The beast done thrown everything into a frenzy because he's trying to run. He's on the run. Chaos and confusion rules. Chaos and confusion rules right now. Chaos and confusion rules. And Amen is going to set things straight. Straight as it's supposed to be by way of the hands of the elect. All we need is the sacrifice. All we need is the sacrifice. This is not a game. This is not for entertainment. This ain't for you guys to come on Facebook and, oh, I thumbed it up. Oh, I thumbed it down. Oh, I didn't like how Nuben said it. Man, the hell with what you niggas like. The hell with what you like. Or don't like. Or what your opinion. The hell with your opinions. This is all about Amen and the elect. Because we in that time. We in the time of revelation. So ain't no looking back no place else. There's no looking back. I'm going to take a call. 416. 416.
Sorry, that came on by mistake.
All right. Time of revelation. There's no place else to go. Ain't no turning back. There's no such thing as turning back. There's no looking back at Egypt no more. Ain't no looking back at ruins. Ain't no sitting around Ashe and Hoteping. Ain't no we gonna go back and forth with the white man. Them days is coming to an end. That's over with. A lot of y'all don't want to face that, but that time's over. We already in that time now. And those of you who can't move forward with that, you're gonna be destroyed. What do you do with something that you can no longer utilize? What do? You throw it out. So just by the fact that alone, the majority of the black race is going to be thrown out by Amen, going to be sacrificed by Amen. If you ever want to know why you Negroes going to start facing more and more hell under the beast, because Amen's going to allow the beast to destroy you, because Amen cannot utilize you. Amen can't utilize you. We are in the time of the elect. We are in the time of the rise of that so-called black Messiah that the beast been talking about. We in that time. This ain't a game. We in the time of that black Messiah. And like I said, he ain't going to come talking nice. He ain't going to come comforting the so-called black woman or comforting the black man or talking about, oh, sister, I understand. No, it ain't that type of party. He ain't going to come holding your hand and coming with a lamb in his damn hand and a damn long white robe. No. Not by a long shot. See, because you do things to people who deserve that. You treat people nice who deserve to be treated nice. You so-called black race, the white race, and all the human race, y'all don't deserve to be treated nice. You don't deserve it. And in anything, in order for great accomplishments to come, there must be pain first. The pleasure of pain before progress. Pain before progress. It's going to be a lot of pain, right? When you work out and you tearing up your muscles and you sore and you like catching cramps and stuff like that, what's going to happen? You're going to have a beautiful body at the end of all that. There has to be pain before progress. What is the greatest pain? The greatest pain is sacrifice. I gotta sacrifice my friends. I can't talk to this person no more. I can't act like this no more. I gotta grow up. I can't be a simple minded nigga no more. I can't be no simp. I can't be a whore and a slut no more. I gotta put that blunt down. I gotta put the blunt down. I gotta put down the damn comic book. You understand? I gotta put down the E and J vodka, the effing vodka. I gotta do all that. Damn, my nigga, I can't smoke no weed no more. Yeah, and that to a lot of you, all that's painful. But it's pain before progress. And a lot of you ain't gonna be able to do it anyway. That's why I'm gonna destroy you. I'm gonna create the earth for a bunch of blunt head weed smoking niggas to walk around. We in the time of the elect, and being that we in the time of the elect, a lot of you niggas gonna drop dead, man. A lot of you niggas are gonna drop dead. I told you before that death aura is going out from Amen, man. That death transmission that's going out from Amen, and the white man gonna help push it out. That death aura is gonna go out. A lot of you niggas is gonna start offing yourself. You're gonna start killing yourself. The weak are gonna start killing themselves. The weak gonna start losing their minds, because that's the time we in. You gonna lose your minds until you out of here, because you in the space of the elect. You in the space. You stand in the way of the elect. You soaking up our sun. You the reason why GMO foods have to be here to feed you. Black, white, and all the useless eaters, the useless humans. You are the reason for that. Making babies for no reason. Right? Not being responsible. Having to have a system take care of you and your little nigglets. That's coming to an end. We don't feel sorry for you because Armin don't feel sorry for you. We ain't in the time of feeling sorry no more. We already done been sorry. Now it's time to be victorious. It's time to be supreme. We'll be right back. Keep in mind everything that is going out, all of this transmission is going out, is only meant to raise the elect, to gather the elect, right? The chosen of Amen. Because again, a lot of our so-called people, they looking for, when they listening to this, they looking for some conspiracy, because you know how people are. They want to hear some back and forth. And it's not about back and forth. This ain't about back and forth with the white man. This ain't about conspiracy theory. This ain't about that. This is about simply reestablishing the law and order on earth again through Amen's chosen. That's it. That's what this is about. Because as you can see, the so-called white man, he can't keep no law and order here. He has organized. What he has done is organized chaos and confusion. He has what's called organized chaos and confusion. This is not law and order. A lot of you would think it's law and order, but it's nothing but organized chaos and confusion. This is do as thou wilt. This is nothing but Aleister Crowley, do as thou wilt, but organized. Why? Because, like I said, you could be a homosexual here. It's legal to be a homosexual or a lesbian or a transgender or a freak. You understand? And those people got rights. Those people got rights. So, everything is really anti-solar man and solar woman, anti-our man and anti-our woman. That's really what everything is anti. The real our men and our women. Everything is pro the beast and the lost ones. So, they are really against the law and the order, because if they were about the law and the order, then they would put the bronze man and bronze woman in power. But like I said, the beast can't put you in power. The beast cannot put us in power. He can't put the elect in power. Only Amen can put us in power. And we're going to have to learn a hard and long lesson before we are released into power. We're going to have to learn a hard and long lesson, because I learn a lot of you people, when are we going to get back in power? When are we going to get back in power? When are we going to get our power back? When are you going to talk about that, brother? When are we going to be in control? When are we going to be able to fight the white man? That ain't about that, man. It's not about that. It's about keeping law and order, about responsibility. See, a lot of y'all can't grasp that, because a lot of you, like I said, you got the minds of children. A lot of you want to look at it, you want it to be like a damn superhero movie. You want it to be like the X-Men and Krypton and Superman. No, this is not a game, man. When those powers are unleashed by way of Amen to the elect, when those powers come to by way of the Messiah, when those powers start to come, they're going to come slowly. They're going to come gradually. that mental transmission, that telepathy, that psychometry, that clairvoyance, that intuition, the ability to fly, levitational lift and to fly, that's all going to come gradually. That's not going to come overnight. That's not going to be like, oh, pop, we got the power. It's not going to be like that because you can't put power in the hands of people who still got a three-dimensional mindset, who's still emotional, who still got a childlike mentality, who still like to argue back and forth, who still act like idiots, who still act like petty children. I had some people amongst me like that who was trying to pass themselves off as the elect. So all of that has to be purged out. That has to be purged out. We have to come together and cooperate and work after the order of Amen, and work mind, body, and soul as one unit. There can't be no beefs going back and forth amongst people. That's why I said people that come in here and do that, you got to get put out. You got to go because you're going to slow us down. When the beast said he saw the reality, when the beast said he saw the reality of the elect, you understand? When the beast said he saw the reality of the elect, that was a sign of power to come. When the beast said he saw this reality of power, you understand? He saw our people come into power. That was a sign of the elect. That was a sign of the elect in this day and time. That was a sign of the elect. Our power. Our power. That was a sign of our power to come. That was a sign of our power to come. We're in that day of power. We're in that day of power. We're in that day of complete power. Extended transmission. We're in that time of extended power and transmission. And those of our people who can't see that, those of our people who are not on that level, those of our people who are not going to tap in and receive that power on earth, those of our people who are not going to tap in and receive that power on earth, right? Get ready for it. Doing my show. You know? Those are the people who are not going to receive that power on earth. Those are the people who are not going to be of Amen. Those are the people who are not going to be of the elect. Those are the people who are not going to be of that supreme power, of that supreme election. Those are the people who are not going to get that. After the order of Amen, there is no order. Only power. After the order of Amen, there is no power. There's only Amen after this order. That's it. After this order. There's only Amen after this power. That's all. There is nothing else after Amen to restart this whole planet again with the solar beings in power. Our children, our ascendants, our children's children. This earth was made for us. This earth was made for us. This earth was made for us to rule. After the order of Amen, the Mentellians. The seed of Amen, the Mentellians here on earth. This earth was made for us to rule, and we are coming into that order of us. That order of now. That order of complete power. We're coming into that right now. The mind, body, and soul transmission of Amen. We're coming into that now. We are in that day. We are in that day and time. Like I said, the beast knew that he would have to return to the caves where he came from. He would have to return to those desert places. He would have to return back to those mountainous regions. And the more and more you see that, you're going to see them returning to those mountainous regions. They're going to leave the cities. They're going to start to leave the cities and they're going to become wastelands. They're going to leave landmass. And they're going to return back to where they came from, because the same way our people are going to, the chosen ones are going to receive that transmission of power from Amen, they're going to receive that mental decrease. The way we're going to receive that mental increase, the beast is going to receive that mental decrease. And he's going to go back into free fall. He's going to go back into power, because at one point in time when we was receiving the mental increase, or we started getting a decrease and he started getting increased. You understand? It was a time when we had all the power, mental power connected to Amen, and then Amen started to decrease our power, decrease our mind power, and increase the beast. He started, in other words, he started to turn us down and turn him up. He started to turn us down and turn him up. Now, Amen is going to turn up the elect and turn down the beast and the so-called human race. They're going to be turned down. You know how you turn down the equalizer on a on a stereo system? Turn up the bass, turn up the treble. That's the same way it's going to happen here. It's the same way it's going to happen here. Certain people are going to have to be turned down in order for others to be turned up. And that turn up is the mental transmission of the elect. They would sit in their little cabals and whatnot. The elites would sit in their little cabals, and they would sit in their little covens and whatnot, and they would sit and watch the stars, do their little seances, their little rituals and whatnot, and they received that transmission directly from Amen to get ready, because their time was coming. All the things they set up here, like I said, if you ever really see it, the beast, his time was short, his reign was short. He hasn't ruled for over 2,000 years. You understand? His reign was short compared to ours. His reign was short, and it's getting shorter and shorter, as it said in the Revelation, because this all coincides with the fall of the beast. The devil will come down you in fury, knowing that his time is short. What does it mean? That means he's coming off of his throne. He's coming down off of these governments. You understand? He's coming down off of these governments, and there's going to be an equalizer that's going to bring everything down. There's going to be an equalizer. Things that are going to balance everything out. Some say it's going to be World War III. That's one. Some going to say it's going to be the nuclear war and the solar holocaust. It's going to leave a lot of people barren, desolate, naked, hungry, starving. All these kingdoms are going to come down. So those of you sitting up here putting all your energy into getting cars and getting flashy, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with having nice things, but don't put your energy into that. Because at the end of the day, all that's going to matter is, can you feed yourself? Can you clothe yourself? Do you have a house to live in, land to live on, and whatnot, whatever little bits and pieces of land? And can you feed yourself, clothe yourself, and do that with your children? That's all that's going to matter. And you better be doing it as a community. You better be doing it as a community, because that's what Amen wants. Amen wants us to come together as a community and do it as a community. Feed ourselves, clothe ourselves, have a piece of land to live on, houses to live in, because that's all we're going to have in these last days. Because that's all that's really important. And then the society's going to restart themselves again. That's how society starts first. Like I said, all these kingdoms, these societies, governments got to come down. They got to come down, because they're full of all kinds of corruption. They're full of all kinds of demonic possession. They're full of all kinds of chaos and confusion. And Amen's house cannot have no chaos and confusion in it. There can be no chaos and confusion in the house of Amen. And what is the house of Amen? The house of Amen is planet Earth. This is Amen's house. This is not the white man's house. This ain't the black man's house. This ain't the human house. This is the house of Amen. Why? Because Amen built this house. The Amen beings built this house. We just guessed here. Or should I say y'all just guessed here. Y'all just guessed. And like I said, the white man already knows that. He knows. He knows the script is going to be flipped. And there's nothing he could do about it. Getting mad at Nuben Menkares is not going to change that. He already knows that the script is going to be flipped. I kept telling you, he's trying to get up out of here. He's going to Mars. He's going right to Mars. The Amen's going to allow him to go. He's going to Mars. You understand? But Mars is Amen's house too, because when the white man goes to Mars, all he's going to do is prepare for the Amen beings to come back there again. Because that's all the white man going to do. All he's going to do is be going from planet to planet within the solar system, preparing planets and whatnot for the elect to go to. You understand? He's going to be like the construction crew. He's going to get it ready for the elects to go. You understand? That time is coming. That time is coming. We in that time of transmission. We're in that time of greater communication. We're in that time of extended power. If this is not the focus of the elect, if this is not the focus of the chosen, then like I said, y'all can forget it. Because if you can't even see this far, if you don't got comfortable in the society, if you don't got comfortable here, then you could go ahead and forget it. You can go ahead and forget it if you got comfortable here. If you got too comfortable here, you can go ahead and forget it. See, because it's not a game anymore. It was never really a game, but y'all sat up here and played games with yourself, trying to be the so-called black version of the white man. Y'all sat up here and was playing games, trying to be the version, be the colored version of him. That day is over with. That time is over with. We're in another day. We're in another time. We're in another tone. We're in another frequency. We're in a new transmission. Amen has extended this transmission to the elect only. This ain't for the black race. I keep saying that. That's why the mass majority of the black race, they're going to be against MENTELLECT. And they're going to call us cult people and stuff like that. They're supposed to, because, again, this is all prophecy. Everything that these people are doing, going against the transmission of Amen, the so-called black race, the white race, everybody, they meant to do that. They meant to do that. This is all prophecy. They're going to fight against it. They're going to buck up against it. They're going to be angry with it. They're going to be upset with it. They're going to be like, oh, they're going to blame Nuben Menkares for it. Don't blame me. Don't blame me. It's all going to go out as the prophecy fulfilled. Prophecy is being fulfilled right now. The transmission is going out now. The connection and the communication is going out right now. And they are feeling it. The Illuminati, the elites, they got fire up under their ass right now. They got fire under their ass. Because they know what's coming. They knew they couldn't rule forever. Whenever you can't, like I said, whenever the house is in chaos and confusion, that's a sign that the end is here. They not sitting up here allowing all kinds of degeneracy to come out because they got to. They doing this to buy themselves time. They doing this to buy themselves time. You know how you, like, when an animal or something is coming at you, and what do you do to stop the animal that's coming at you that's going to devour you? What do? You shoot it, you throw things at it, you do things to try to slow it down. That's what they doing by putting all this degeneracy out here. They trying to slow down the transmission of Amen, the law and order of Amen, because that means that's more things that Amen has to destroy. When they put out the faggots and the lesbians and all kinds of trannies and all kinds of weirdo nonsense, that's just more stuff for Amen, for this transmission of Amen that has to be destroyed. And so that white man figured the more degenerate stuff he put out, the time it's going to take for Amen to destroy it, and it'll buy him time to do what he got to do. You understand? It'll buy him time to get himself off the planet. It'll buy him time to try to escape judgment, but he's not going to escape judgment. He's not going to escape judgment neither. Because the judgment is simply that he must serve. The beast must serve, as he's been serving, but this time he's going to serve the underlords, the earth lords. He's going to serve the earth lords, who are going to be in direct transmission with Amen, who will be the earth lords, the Mentellians. All future Mentellians, all coming from out of this elect. That's who the beast is going to serve. And like I said, I know a lot of you two-dimensional Negroes can't see it because you're looking at things from their slave mindset. That's why I told you, don't listen. Don't listen. Your slave master, he sees the reality. He sees the writing on the wall before a lot of you Negroes going to see it. Your slave master, who's on the three-dimensional and you on the two-dimensional, he sees the writing on the wall before a lot of you Negroes going to see it. So y'all might not well not even listen. This ain't for y'all. This is freedom talk right here. This ain't slave talk. This ain't Ashe and Hotep and Black Power and the black man is God. All that slave talk. That's slave talk. Freedom, justice, and equality. That's slave talk. There's no such thing as equality. There's only supremacy or nothing. There's only supremacy or nothing. No equality. We ain't doing the slave talking no more. We ain't doing the slave narrative no more. We ain't doing the Negro ensembles no more. That day is over. Them days are over. The beast was able to recognize the coming of this society, this next world to come. That's why I said to you, when the so-called white man, he got that vision of Superman and that Kryptonian race, and now all of a sudden they doing a thing about Krypton, the planet Krypton, and and now the white man wearing the serpents all over himself. After I brought it out that the serpent on Superman's chest is really the S symbol on Superman's chest was really a serpent, and that represented the coming of the Mentellians or the Amun race here on Earth. And that they really trying to so-called the white man trying to put his face in the image of the almond bank. Now all of a sudden you're starting to see things about the Kryptonian race and all this other stuff, and now they're showing you that it's serpents all over their chest. Like I said, all of it is coming out. I just discovered today that the so-called Scientologists, they using the damn serpent that's going through two pyramids. Look at the Scientology. Look at the Scientology. L. Ron Hubbard. Look at his symbol for Scientology. He used a serpent going through two three-sided pyramids. He using it going through two pyramids, a serpent. See, everybody using our symbol because they bearing witness that the true power is the serpent and the diamond, which comes directly from Amun. The serpent and the diamond. That's our symbol. That's coming directly from Amun. We was the first ones to pick it back up in this day and time and bring it forward. We as the Mentellians, the elect. See, power recognizes power. See, the elites, they were already in power, so being that they on a different tone and frequency as being in power, the ones who distributing the money that runs the Federal Reserve, the ones that's running the IMF, the International Monetary Fund, they controlling all the money, the food source, and everything else here on Earth. Like I said, they in power over the planet, or they in charge, I should say. So they recognize when another society's coming in and they on their way out. They already recognize it. That's why they was getting these transmissions directly from Amun. Tell them, you niggas get ready to pack your stuff. Told these Jews, y'all get ready to pack your stuff. Amun sent them a transmission. Sent them the transmission of all transmissions. Anytime Gay Edgar Hoover said, oh, we got to watch the rise of that black messiah, that was Amun sending the transmission to them, and when they was in their little cabals up there in the Bohemian Grove, tell them, y'all get ready to pack y'all stuff. Y'all got to go. Wherever you go, I don't care where you got to go. You got to get up out of here. They got to get ready to go. And they already knew where it was coming from. They already knew. That's why anything, like I said, they was trying to slow down anything that was bringing about that transmission. That's why they took Dr. York's land. And they made sure they threw him in jail because they didn't like the tones and the frequency coming from that land. When he would do those rituals, people was walking around pyramids because those were rituals that was opening up another dimension. When he was had people walking around the pyramid doing certain chants and things like that, that was opening another door. Those of you who were there, you already know what I'm talking about, who was there, who saw it. That's why he had to go. That's why that land had to be taken. You understand? That's why. That was the rebuilding or the start of another society. And the beast can't have that here. He cannot have our people setting up another society here. That's why, because he knows that'll be the fall of his. Once our people get their minds right and they get from up under the spell of the beast, calling themselves black, Negro, African American, and all these other terms that you Negroes have that y'all become so affectionate of, that you got from the so-called white man. You stop calling yourself Africans, African Americans, now Indians, and all kind of nonsense. Once you stop doing that and you come from up under the spell of the beast, that's the end. That's the beginning of the end. That's the beginning of the end. You come from up under submission to him and you come into the transmission with Amen. That's the end. A lot of y'all not gonna see that because you can't imagine life being from up under the beast. A lot of you can't even see that. That's not even real to you. So when you hear me talking like this, you like, oh, with this guy making up stuff. He sound like a religious leader. He trying to preach and he talking about pie in the sky. He need to deal with the real stuff. Like, well, how we gonna deal with this white man who's trying to kill us? Fool, don't you know the white man trying to kill you because Armin wants y'all dead? Armin wants you niggas gone. That's why the white man killing you ain't because just all of a sudden the white man just hates you because you're so-called black skin. The East Indians got dark skin. He ain't killing them. That's a hit from Amen. That's a hit from Amen. That's a punishment from the Most High. You understand that? Y'all still don't get it yet. Amen's allowing this to happen. The Creator's allowing the white man to destroy you Negroes, man, because your minds are gone. You serve no purpose to Amen. That's why. And with each day you being destroyed and being compressed and depressed down to the lowest common denominator, what's going to spring out of that? Like I said before, pain before progress. Pain before progress. We had to go through this pain, see, because pain equals punishment. And after you receive that punishment, there's supposed to be correction, and then there's progress. For those of you who get it, some of you are going to always be in pain. You're going to be always bitching and moaning and crying and talking about, oh well, we got to get free from the white man. He wanted to destroy us. Y'all ain't trying to go nowhere. You're not trying to go nowhere. You ain't trying to do nothing. You just want the white man to be nice to you. You want a hug. You niggas want a hug from the white man. He gonna hug you niggas, okay? He gonna hug you all right at the end of a rope. He gonna hug you all right. He gonna put that rope around your neck and hug your neck until it's gone, till it's broken. You understand that? These are all rituals. Rituals. You understand that? These are all rituals. Those who have faded into black, these are rituals. They're being sacrificed to bring forward the light. They don't even know every time they sacrifice one of you, they bring and open the light. They think they're destroying a race. They're opening the light because every time we see one of the so-called black race sacrifice, we sitting up here, we like the intelligent ones of our people. Damn, I don't want to be like that. I don't want my son to see. Because what did Honorable Elijah Muhammad say? He said he came to be how he was and coming to be a leader amongst his people because he saw so many black men being hung out of trees when he was a little boy. Right? So what did that do? That opened up the light to Amen toward him. He saw the light. Now, if he lived a life where he saw the so-called white man, the beast being nice to black people, like a lot of you Negroes, y'all really want that utopia with a white man hugging you Negroes, the beast hugging y'all and loving y'all and giving y'all some fake equality. You understand? If you had that type of utopia, y'all would just be okay. Y'all be okay serving the beast if he was just nicer to y'all. But see, Amen allowed the beast to put hell on you. He allowed the beast to put hell on you because what happens? Pressure busts pipes. Pressure, you apply that pressure to the coal, you crush down the coal, what happens? Diamonds come out. Diamonds come out. And we represent the diamonds that's coming out of the black coal, man. The coal is being compressed. That's you niggas, man. You being compressed, depressed, destroyed, so that the brighter ones of us could come out from amongst you. That's real. That analogy is very real. Because if we didn't see the pain that we said our so-called people went through, we wouldn't be where we at. We wouldn't even have this mindset. We wouldn't have this mindset. We got the mindset we got because we see what the so-called black race went through. And we didn't want to be like y'all. We didn't want to suffer at the hands of the beast. We wanted real freedom. We didn't want fake freedom. We didn't want fake equality. We wanted real freedom. We wanted supremacy. That's the only type of freedom that you're going to be able to get is supremacy. Starting with yourself, starting with your community, not arguing back and forth with the white man. Because like I said, we already know you Negroes just want that hug, man. You want a hug. You want the pat on the head. You want the white man to turn. Like I said, because he's your Lord and Savior. He's your real God. He's your God. But he ain't our God. He's not the God of the elect. And the white man knows that there's going to be some so-called blacks on the planet who don't answer to his gods. That don't answer to his gods. Don't answer to or care about him. Don't care about what he thinks. Don't care. Don't care about getting a hug from him or love from him. Don't care about you Negroes neither. They're going to be in contact with a higher source, which is Amen. That day is coming. That day is already here. Because when we can speak like this freely, when we can say this and not be concerned with, how black people going to feel about it or how white people going to, we don't care how nobody feel about it. You understand? We don't care how nobody feel about it. This is all about Amen. This is all about the elect. And like I said, the beast knows the fall of that kingdom is coming. The beast knows that the fall of that kingdom is coming. And that the rise of the solar lords, the underlords, is coming. Those underlords who will be in contact and in connection with the overlord, the supreme overlord, which is Amen. Our ascendants, the future race, the future, the future, the future, after the order of Amen, in the image of Amen, by the power of Amen, in the name of Amen. Again, they knew that it would be people here who would make that willing sacrifice. That's why, if you notice, the beast tried to be nice to Negroes and whatnot, because he figured the more Negroes that he was nice to, and he didn't kill and he didn't lynch and gave them some rights, some of you Negroes would be content. You would start to love the beast, and then you wouldn't want to be free. You would think you was free already, just like the niggas on the plantation. You know, they was happy about being on the plantation. The white man stopped raping their women a little bit, let them go to church on Sunday, let them get married, basically tried to treat them like semi, 3/5 of the human, 3/5 of man. And these Negroes was happy with it, just like they still happy today with that type of treatment. They happy with the little nigger pennies the white man throw off the table, let them to make movies, right, to let them live next door to them. And he'll pay you just to make you all happy and satisfied so you can promote this false sense of security and happiness amongst the beasts, when the only true power and the real security is going to come directly from Amen. Y'all ain't even looking for Amen no more. You looking for money. You looking to worship the beast. You looking to tattoo money all over yourself. He's all that. See, he doing all that just to buy time, man. See, the white man doing all that to buy time. You understand? Because he know if he just, but once he see it's not working, he gonna flip on you guys too. You guys we gave the money to, you niggas that sold out, he gonna flip on you. Because once he see that none of that working, he gonna go crazy. Once he see that y'all ain't did your job, which was to lead the so-called black race and back into bondage, back into that chaotic and confused slave mindset under him. Once he sees that's not working, once he sees that the elect is still coming, he gonna get mad just to start destroying y'all. I'm gonna allow him to do that. I'm gonna allow him to flip on y'all, and that's gonna be beautiful too to watch. You bed wenches that love the beast, you gonna get flipped on by him. He gonna just flip out, call you black, call you all kind of niggas and everything else. He gonna do that. He gonna flip on you. He gonna turn his back on you, cause he gonna realize he out of time. And he's going to come down to you in fury, knowing his time is short and that the elect are on the rise. We in that day now. And we're going to close this out. In the name of Amen, by the power of Amen. In Amen we trust, and Amen we think, and Amen we continue forward forever. This Sunday in Phoenix, Arizona, I'm going to be in Phoenix, Arizona this Sunday. I'm going to be, I didn't bring this up. I'm going to be, hold on one second, I want to bring this up. I want to announce this. But I'm going to be in Phoenix, Arizona. Hold on one second. I'm going to be, I'll announce it tomorrow. I should be in Phoenix, Arizona. I'll announce it from the show because I don't have the information right in front of me. But I'll be in Phoenix, Arizona tomorrow speaking. Those of you who want to come out, those of you in the on the West Coast, those of you on the West Coast who want to come out, you can come out. All right. I'm going to be speaking out there from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. All right. So just come on out there. I'm going to be talking. It'll be the Republic of MENTELLECT Supermen, Superwoman Project. All right. That's coming out in Phoenix, Arizona. So I'll announce where we're going to be at. And that's it. So maybe I'll check the Okay, here you go. 1650 West 95th Lane, Courtyard, Marriott, West Avondale, 1615 North 95th Line. I'll be out there. Courtyard, Marriott. All right? The Courtyard, Marriott. I'll be out there in Phoenix, Arizona this Sunday. I'll be speaking out there. So catch me out there. All right? All right. Let me go ahead and read these questions before you get out of here. All right? This prophecy is real. Why is the beast on the lookout for a so-called black Messiah? Because he knows that the rise of a black Messiah means the fall of his empire. Because the only true governments that's supposed to be standing up here is the governments of Amen, by the so-called bronze man, by the bronze man, the soul man, or the solar man, right, and the solar woman. The same empires that were up while the beast was in the caves, like he showed you in the Planet of the Apes. He's showing you. Who was in rulership? The so-called apes. Who he called the apes? The so-called black race, a.k.a. the bronze race. He called us the apes. We was in rulership, and we was the white men in a damn cave somewhere, running around like a caveman. Right? He showed you. The beast knows with the appearance of the black Messiah, that's the fall of his kingdom. That's the beginning of the end. That's why he's watching for that. And he's trying to do everything to buy himself time before that prophecy fulfills itself. Who is the black Messiah? You already know. Who is the messenger of Amen? I am. I am the messenger between heaven and hell. I'm going to explain what heaven and hell is. I'm going to explain that. What heaven and hell really is. I am the messenger of Amen. The Messiah really is nothing but the messenger of Amen. The true Lord. Not your God, not your devil, but the Lord, the judge, the supreme judge. Is the black Messiah real? No, there's no black Messiah. There's the bright Messiah, the solar Messiah, but the white man was making reference of that Messiah or that messenger of Amen coming from amongst the so-called black race, so he called it the black Messiah. Right? Is there a white Messiah? No. There's no white Messiah. Never was. What will the Messiah do when he comes? Raise the elect. Raise the elect. The same way the ancient Pharaoh, the first Pharaoh Narmia, being the first prophet, the real prophet Narmia. Look at ancient Egypt Narmia, the one who united the upper and lower dynasties, right, to create the first Kemetic kingdoms, right? He was one of the first prophets of Amen. Your first Pharaoh. Your pharaohs are really your prophets. That's who the prophets are, not none of them fake prophets in the Bible. The pharaohs are the prophets. All right? And they modeled the president after the pharaohs. Well, that's it. Join me Saturday night for the next MENTELLECT radio broadcast. Again, I will be in Phoenix, Arizona, speaking on Sunday from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. Come on out. Admission is free. I am the intellectual Luther Menkares. It's been MENTELLECT Radio. Good night.
Black race to the white race, out the black race to the white race. It's the Republic of MENTELLECT. Black race to the white race. If it's hell, then it's hell us. They tried everything just to spell us. Fed us religion, gave us fake gods. Through all of that, we beat the odds. Now we coming together under one flag. Colors red, gold, and blue. Superman, Superwoman, that's me and you. The infinite capabilities that